because I wanted to buy a Sega Dreamcast. I got a job at a grocery store, and this is kind of all just like based off of like those experiences, but plus like every single thing that I love: video games, comics, movies, cartoons, yeah, you name it.
Dungeons and Dragons, very nice reference.
Absolutely.
So how does something like this, from you being inspired working in a grocery store, come to actually being a show?
When I used to be a storyboard supervisor on Adventure Time, and I was also the co-executive producer of Steven Universe. And they asked me if I had any ideas for a show, and I spent a really, really long time coming up with an idea about aliens in space, and then I pitched it, and I was like, wait, this is dumb. So I changed it right before, and I was like, it's a bunch of fighters that work at a mini mall, and it's the best thing ever. And then they were like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Much better than the weird aliens idea.
Yeah.
So we've seen a lot of different iterations of OK K.O. at this point.
Yeah.
We've already got a game that's amazing. There's been a bunch of shorts, an app. Toby, can you tell us about how this has all come about and how all of this kind of universe works together?
Yeah, kind of after the pilot was finished, Cartoon Network was really interested in kind of exploring the world of OK K.O., or at the time Liquid Plaza Turbo, and they were kind of like, before we do this as a possible show, let's kind of explore it through a bunch of different avenues. So after the pilot was done, Ian approached me to kind of join up and help him develop it as the first game, as all the different shorts, and we were kind of like finding the entry point to kind of what it could be as a show through exploring it through all these different unique avenues. And that's kind of what led us to not just all the different shorts and the original game, mobile game, but also toward the series and the upcoming game as well.
So there's a lot of collaborations in what
Absolutely, I mean, that's like the thing. Yeah.
So what do you think is the most difficult part about launching a show like this?
Making something that isn't terrible is really difficult. You spend your whole life watching things and being extremely opinionated about them, and then when you make something, you'd be like, okay, I have to think about all the terrible things I've ever seen in my life and make sure to not do that. And believe it or not, it's extremely difficult. So that would be the hard thing, is making something that lives up to your own standards and also the standards of all the people you work with.
I've heard people say before, make something that you would want to watch. Do you think that that's true for this?
100%. It's very indulgent in that way. But I hope that that's something that translates to the audience, and that the things that we care about are also the things that everyone here cares about.
What do you guys think? Think you care about the show?
That was a pretty good response.
Seems vaguely positive, yeah. Good job. So we're also getting a console game, which is OK K.O. Let's Play Heroes. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. I think one of the interesting things to talk about first is just how that game even came to be. I think normally you make a show, it gets a fan base, and they put out a game later. These guys knew that this was just right for a game right from the get-go. So they already made a mobile game, and they came to us and said, oh, we kind of like your games, we're fans of you guys, Super Time Force, Critter Crunch and stuff, and would you guys want to make a game with us? We're like, you're fans of us? We're fans of you. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, this is before there was even a show or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like we were still developing it and kind of figuring out what it was and maybe it could be unique for you guys. And be like, we're figuring this thing out, and we want to kind of invite you guys to figure the game out at the same time and kind of on like a parallel track.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we made a game that stood on its own and was just fun as a game that you got to play. And because we didn't actually have a lot of the show at the time, we were kind of just creating the universe together.
Yeah, and these guys came to Toronto to meet us, and they showed us storyboards, and then they actually did the sound effects and the voices in the room. We were just like, it was funny even then, and we just knew we wanted to be a part of it. And one of the cool things is that they looped us into the process of making the show. So as we were making the game,